I hate that I have to do this all the time. I have to start it and introduce it.
We've only done one.
All the time.
100% record.
I'm such a martyr.
Yeah, well, you've got the best voice, haven't you?
Oh, thank you. That's recorded, and that's going to stay in the edit. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Cricket Critics, the fourth Test match, which was, I think, to sum it up, a shambles.
Yeah, what did India do then? Asked it up royally.
Yeah, you can't be 8 for 4 on the first day. Yeah, well, I was at Lord's on that day. In the pavilion at Lord's, because that's the kind of area, the kind of circles I swank round in. And
now that you're
I got in there and I saw on the screen India were like 28 for 4, and some bloke looked at me and said, "Oh, they've recovered a bit."
So, I think the first thing that we need to address is now the other side.
The other side.
We've been exposed. Oh no!
The other side.
Our studio.
Yeah, sorry.
It's too real.
Yeah, the other side of what?
What we addressed before was Cook's captaincy. Now, I think the shoe's on the other foot.
Hang on now. Hang on.
The BCCI list.
If you're going down the road, I think you're going on. The line's going to have to get drawn.
No, I'm not saying...
There were questions about Dhoni's bowling changes, weren't there? He started off with, what's the name, Jadeja and Pankaj, the two...
Pankaj. Pankaj's got a wicket though.
He got his first two wickets.
Yeah.
Strangled down the leg side.
Yeah.
Don't talk about strangles down the leg side. I had an unpleasant experience on Saturday, from a personal point of view. Rubbish. And unlike some people, I walked when I hit it. Nukes. I like some blatant cheats. Comes on here like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth with his stupid Team Wolfie face. When he nicks the cover off one, he doesn't walk.
So it came off the face of the bat.
It was blatant, wasn't it?
It was so blatant.
Don't know what you're on about.
Okay, so is MS Dhoni under any pressure?
Well, he's under scrutiny, but does he lose his captaincy?
No. I think what he should do is, if the BCCI are thinking about sacking him, he should say, "Can we have a meeting?" And he'd say, "I'm MS Dhoni. You can all get stuffed. Here's the World Cup. Any other questions, gentlemen?" No, well, piss off then. That's the end of that. He must have too much. You know, they can't. Particularly since Sakin's retirement, all the weight of the, you know, he's like the big superstar of the team now. And whilst you can speak about his captaincy, the fact was India's bowling was a bit adrift, but it's the batting that let them down.
He was
And
the
if
only
we're
batsman.
looking at the scorecard now
He was
for the
only
first
batsman.
innings, 1-5-2 all out, 71 to Dhoni.
His bowling changes were a bit...
I think it's worth pointing out at this stage that England got 367. You can get 600, you get 500. They got 360 and still won by an innings.
What was the highest score in England? 77 by Root, wasn't it?
77, the top scorer. Don't pretend that you remember that. You just read it. It was 77, wasn't it? Did you see what they did there?
Dick move.
Yeah, did move. Edit. But 367 on that pitch, I don't think it's a terrible effort from a fielding captain's point of view. His batsmen let him down horribly.
Yeah.
And they're good batsmen. And we said in the last episode that you can't believe that these players with all this talent are going to keep failing. Well, they did. I don't know if this is a good time to address our Kohli predictions.
I think it's a great opportunity actually to...
So, can you remember the numbers involved? I said I think that he'd get less than 10 in the game.
I just wanted to...
That's what I said. And I can't think of any possible way you can prove I didn't.
Okay. Have you noticed anything different about me? The reason I'm saying this
Yeah.
is because I've fashioned a look, a Middle Eastern look from about 2,000 years ago. Because you said, and I quote, "Nearest is definitely the Messiah."
Did I say that? I don't think
Yeah.
I did. I don't remember. Now, I think I said that he would get 167.
It's okay, my son.
Didn't I say that he would get 167?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, let's see, in the second innings, tell me how many runs he got.
7.
How many minutes did he bat for?
16.
167. So I'm just saying. So you can't take these things too literally. It's there as a guide.
I'm having a
Jammy
shave.
kit.
I'm having a shave and I'm cutting my hair.
You think you should, because really, That sums it up, I think. Virat Kohli, 7 runs in the match. I don't know how many he's got in the series now.
Is he undroppable?
They surely can't drop it. I maintain, I'm keeping faith with Catboy because I refuse to believe someone with all that talent is going to miss in a 5-match series.
I don't know.
I don't think there's much pressure on them now, is there?
Oh, and yeah, and also I'll accept any apologies that we've got coming for the ridiculous dropping of Sheikh Darwin. There's another point worth mentioning, and we discussed this briefly.
That's it, right.
About the fact that this is a 5-match series. This is, I think I'm right in saying, will be the first 5-match series any of these Indian players have played. And is the physicality of bowling this many overs, this close together, is this having an effect on them?
There's nothing wrong with the bowlers.
Ishant Sharma badly missed. I don't know. Have we heard, is he going to play on Friday?
Yeah, but Varun Aaron was fine.
Varun Aaron bowled very well.
Yeah,
It's because his name.
Pankaj got figures that more... I still think his figures didn't do him any justice. But
And then-
at least he managed to...
Your favourite, Bhuvanesh Kumar, as well.
Bhuvanesh, why my
I
favourite?
don't know, you just like him for some reason.
I think he's a good
I'm
bowler.
sure you said he was handsome.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Well, he's a very handsome man, yeah, what of it?
Got it.
He is a very handsome
Got
man.
it.
Do you not think he is then?
No comment.
Alright. Just because you're gay.
That's how childish is that? That's like going.
It's pretty childish.
Are you gay? No. Does your mum know?
So any positives?
Well,
Next.
Varun Aaron was positive, was bowled well.
He was quick as well.
Bhuvanesh
wasn't he?
Kumar,
He was
3 for
second.
75.
He was the quickest.
Yeah, I think he's the only bowler to bowl a ball over 90 mile an hour in this series so far.
So
And he's certainly, I tell you what, Alistair Cook, despite all his troubles outside his off stump, he doesn't miss the hook shot very often.
no.
Doesn't get bounced out very often.
You got Mitchell Johnson.
Yeah, he's not quite as quick as Mitchell, but 90 mile an hour is quick enough, I should imagine. Ask Stuart Broad. Well, that was his own fault for trying to make his nose occupy the playing place in space as a very hard cricket ball, which a situation that nature resolved quickly. How did it get through? That ought to be against the laws of physics.
No, it did. It squeezed through.
Yeah, but how?
Force.
Sheer force.
Yeah.
Well, metal can bend.
Yeah, but
Large objects can go through small orifices. You are now in the helmet wearing club.
yes, because I'm so old and the reflexes have finally gone. Can't see a thing.
So it's
And now I'm worried, am I going to get pongoed on the nose as well?
well, no. I mean, it can be also be used for to protect your jaw, for example. You might be.
Even Alistair Cook's jaw.
It pokes out.
That is a big jaw.
To be fair, it did come off. Of
Alistair
Stuart
Cook's jaw
Broad-
came off. They say that he's going to have to wear a mask.
That'd be amazing.
Some sort of
I
Phantom of
want
the
to see.
Opera.
It'd be great. It's,
So
it's
your
our,
circus.
it's our
actors.
step towards the circus roadshow.
As far as I can tell, Ashwin's a better bowler and a better batsman than Jadeja. So is there any chance that Jadeja's going to get the hook in the next game, or are they just going to
No.
stick with that same
Stick
thing?
with-
They're going to play 2 spinners at the Oval.
Yes.
Any chance of my boy coming back to open?
Check it out. I think he probably will.
He ought to.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he bold enough to do that?
Who, don't he?
Yeah.
He'll do it. I think he
The only one, Dhoni, I don't think gives the thing. What I admire about MS Dhoni, under all the pressures, under the most well-supported team in world sports. Forget the Brazilian football team and all the stuff. The Indian cricket team is the most well-supported team in world sports, and he is the complete figure. Even more now, Sachin's gone, and I really think he couldn't give a toss.
Yeah.
I don't think he never looks bothered, does he? He's a very relaxed guy, and I think that's to be admired. In the World Cup final, we've spoken about this before. To come out at that time,
He hadn't
your
been
entire
back,
your entire reputation's hanging on this, and he comes out. Not only does he captain the team, he says, "I'll bat now. I'll get this done. I'll score the winning run."
Apparently, he banged the door that Gary Kirsten was in, was saying, "I'm going in next. I'm going in next."
And what did Gary Kirsten say? Not yourself out, sir.
Great, it's great. It's great.
He was doing a Kevin
Great
Peterson
for the
impression.
lads.
Kevin Peterson impression. We should
Oh.
point out. We found out today for the first time, having watched him play cricket for England for 9 years, that Kevin Peterson's middle name is Peter,
Kevin Peterson.
which I think shows staggering lack of imagination on the part of his parents. Kevin Peterson, what should his middle name be? I don't know. Peter? Yeah. MS Dhoni will do whatever he wants, and so he should. I think he's got enough credit in the bank.
I want to see this guy come in. Umesh.
Yadav. Yeah, he's another quick bowler.
You've seen him.
Yes.
He's doing well for India A at the moment.
But again, you see, this is typical, isn't it? This is typical. The batsman cock it up, so we'll drop one of the bowlers. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Well, so the question then is, having established that my prediction was correct for the last game,
No.
I don't think anyone can dispute that. I don't think anyone could really dispute.
There's no way you can do it.
Virat Kohli, match runs at the Oval.
100. I think he's going to get a century. So I'm going to say 167. No, I'm going to say 137.
I'd say 102.
Is this where I say 138 or 101? And you can put Dick Moon with it. 147. That's my idea of heaven. He can't fail again, surely.
No, not in a 5-match series.
You know, I hope he understands the pressure he's putting us under.
Yeah.